friends. So when I started collecting plants, especially my vining plants, I dreamt of them hanging and cascading down. But I don't have that much space. I don't want to hang plants everywhere. And I don't have enough shelf to let all my plants hang down. And then I also read that if you let your climbing plants like climb up onto something, then most of the times you get bigger leaves. And I did see that compared to the original clippings where the leaves were small and the plant was hanging, the new plant where I let them climb up, the leaves were bigger. So I decided that I must have some vines climbing up. But then I saw my options. Some were about moss poles, coco coir poles, plastic trellis, or metal ones. And so when I was in India, my mom used to, she still has a big pothos and it climbs on a moss pole, and they water the moss pole. I always used to water the moss pole along with the plant, and it was always moist, and we hardly had to tie our pothos to the moss pole. It used to climb on its own. But here, when I have my plants indoors, I really do not want to take the effort of spraying water on my moss pole every once in a while, because my house is so dry compared to the humid environment of India. And so moss pole was out of question, because what's the point of having it when I'm not going to keep it moist for the roots to start clinging to them and start growing in them. So I did end up buying some coco coir poles, and I used them for my tetrasperma, but I realized that the roots are really not catching on them, because when I use when I spray it, it's a lot of effort, because it takes me forever to make the coco coir wet, and then it doesn't stay wet for too long for the roots to start anchoring on them. So it was no point. So I realized that it was just waste of money for me, and I ended up getting some bamboo poles for my Monstera deliciosa and other kind of plants. But then what about my tiny cute little plants? They are generally in 4-inch or 6-inch pots, and I didn't like the regular trellis options I had, and I really loved the wire ones, but I didn't want to spend like $20-30 for a single trellis. But so I decided to make my own. Like, I generally end up doing that for most of my things. I like plants, and I want to buy as many as possible. And for that same reason, I want to save money at some places, and that's why I decided to buy my own wire and start making my own trellises. So here, this is my photos. This is my cute little plant, another one, and this is my favorite, heart shape. And then I made this Christmas tree shape for my Hoya. Also, I realized that when I use round trellis, oftentimes it takes up space around it, and for some of my plants I didn't have that kind of space, so I decided on getting longer, not going beyond the diameter of the pot. And so I thought of making these, and that's how it worked out. Then okay, another one I have here is this. That's another shape I have, is this one. I'm not sure if you can appreciate the shape, but okay, let me turn it around here. So here the circles go like this, so when I twist, I don't really have to tie anything, and that's how I'm training my plant. So I love them. And see, if you see the original clipping here, the leaves are so tiny compared to the new leaves that I'm getting, which are big and beautiful. Okay, you got me. I end up spending sometimes hours just looking at the new leaves and waiting for the new leaf to unfurl. But anyway, that is that. So now I'll just like to show how to make really simple trellises, and you can go make 100 types of different designs out of that, and in very cheap. Here is my cute little plant for which I want to make a wire trellis, and I prefer round or a heart shape or something like that. The reason is, when your plant goes like this and then comes back full rotation, you can actually pin a little part of it, the node in the dirt, and it will start rooting there, and that makes the root system more, and you can get tiny plants out of those nodes. So I want to do something similar here, and let's see what materials we need. So this is a utility wire thing. This utility wire is plastic coated, so I don't have to worry about rust. I got it from Lowe's. It's a store where you get, it's a hardware store, and it was only for $12 or $13, and in that I already made so many trellises, as you already saw, and I still have so much left. So basically I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually 8, which is another plant, 8 trellises and some other random stuff with this wire, and I still have more to make, almost equal number, depends on the size. Now what other things do I need? I need a wire cutter, of course, and then I have some jewelry making supply, because I just have to have myself in every other craft, even though I don't pursue that seriously. So I have these round nose plier, and regular jewelry plier. You may need it, you may not need it, it depends. Then you need things like a glass, a bottle, a jar to give shape, because if you're trying to give something a wire a round shape, it can get kinks if you don't have a kind of a mold thing, and it's very difficult to fix kinks from wires. I have a bowl, depends on the size you want. But if you don't want round, then you really don't need all these things. So I'm gonna start with a simple round trellis for my cute little plant. Now I have this. Now you see it already is in circles. So if you want this size, you don't really need anything to bend it, because you already have a circle here. Now always make sure that the part that will go in the dirt should be at least the same length as your pot's height. So what I'm gonna do is, this is my full circle, and then I need some extra for going under the pot and making the ties. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna cut it here. Oops, I did it. Here you go. So I have this circle. Personally, I think it's a little too big for my this plant, but I'll still make it, and just for the sake, or I can make it smaller like this. You see my circle? Yeah. Now you need some strong hands. It's not easy to bend the wire. I got my wire bent here, and then wire bent here. Alright, I got a circle here, and I got these two, which I need to straighten up and bend at 90 degrees. So we're gonna see how we do it. But first I need to tighten up this, or you can make knots here so that it doesn't go like that, but you always have an option of leaving it like this, so that you can change the size as per your pot requirement, but I like this size, so I'm gonna just knot it up a little. Just watch your face, watch your eyes. These things, this wire is hard, but you don't want a really soft wire for your plants. Now, since it's already, this thing is curved, you need to straighten it up to go in your pot. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is my trellis. Now I need to check on the length. I want it the same size as my pot height. So I have my trellis ready. Now it's time to put it in my pot. And it's always better to put your trellis while repotting, because you don't want to damage the roots of your plant. Here it is, and here it goes like this. And if you worry a lot about this part, this is gonna hide. This is gonna hide on the leaves. But if you really want to get rid of this, you probably need a more flexible, thinner, like without a plastic coating wire, like a copper wire, aluminum wire, that you can twist it much better so that it's not as visible and more aesthetic for you. So this is what it eventually looks like. Now, another favorite is heart-shaped trellis. So again, let's cut the desired size beforehand. Always have some extra that will go in shaping as well as in your pot. So I got this, and I don't want a really big heart-shaped one, because some shapes are not meant to carry a lot of heavy weight of the plant leaves. Round is good, or you want more structure that I can show you later on. So this is my wire. You want to divide it, you want to fold it in a way that it's equal size on both. Here, okay, hold the ends together, and then you need to fold it. Fold your wire like this. Perfect. See that? And then now you got this notch that you have in the middle of the heart here, like this. And now you need to take a glass or something and turn around your wire around it. Okay, here, like that. And then the other side. Here you go. Now it doesn't look like heart at all, but it will when I bend it like that. That's what we have, and then I decide to bend it like this. Now here we go, and I bend it again to give it a neater look. You can see this. And then I can go around again. Here I get this. Now the other side. I have a trellis, and now you see this is too close, and so for a 4-inch pot here, I would want it to go to the end. You can use it just like that, but it's always better to straighten this up. If you want, you can just put your trellis like this, but the other option is you make it straight. In this side, straight. Now you have some angle. Now here, from here, you take a 90-degree bend here, and then right here. So here's your trellis ready. Now, if you see this size is a little small, this side is a little big, it's always better to have them same size, otherwise your trellis will be like this or this, unless you like it that way. And then I cut off the extra. So it can go like that. So this is another one. This leftover wire to make a tiny squiggly trellis. So for that, I'm going to use my nose plier, round nose plier, to make it go round and round. Or you can use any other circular thing that you might have in your kitchen, in your hardware, or just the round end of a screwdriver, handle of your pan. Any of those should be good. So I have this little squiggly thing, and now I will bend it like this. Got a little squiggly thing that you can make as a support for any of the thing. You can make it bigger if you want, or you can keep it really tiny. Depends on your plant size and what you're using it for. This was just an example. Other interesting design is, which is really good to support your plant, is this with circles, 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 and it's easier to match. For that you need more wire than usual. So this is your one circle, but you might need like few more like that, because you're going to make multiple smaller circles in this. Now here I will start with first straightening this end for the pot. you have to keep in mind what part are you going to use, what size, and accordingly make this end long enough for it to reach as deep as possible. Okay, here you go. Now I have to start with the circles. I'm gonna use this glass and make one circle here. Okay, now another circle here. Another circle here. It is completely up to you if you want your circles outwards or inward. So now this trellis is ready. It's a cute little flower. You can use it like this, or you can put these legs in the pot like that, so you get a trellis like this. So it's up to you. Or the flower. I like the flower. So if you want to use it as a flower, you bend the wire a little bit more to go in your pot. And like again, your length of this wire should be as much as the height of your pot. Now, another common trellis design is where there are some words written in between the wire trellis. So like this one, love. I mean, like, this is not a trellis, but I was just practicing. I was wondering if this thick of a wire will be able to write what I need. So, but to write any of these things, you need some pliers, jewelry making supplies. Like, say here, one side is round and one side is flat with a rubber on side, so that your wire doesn't get those marks of the pliers. You can use this one too, but this kind of is not easy because the wire kind of moves around in it, and it's not able to hold it properly. So this is a very important tool if you want to write something with the wire on your trellis. I'm gonna write love, and the first word will be if you're not sure how you're going to write it, it's always good to write it on paper. All your lines should be in absolute cursive so that you do not have to worry about how your wires will be going. Okay, I got my L-O-V-E, love. Now, I want these alphabets to stay in the center of my circle. So I have to kind of shape it like this. So you have an option of using the trellis like this,